During a storm in the forest, a young girl named Alicia takes refuge in some ruins. When day breaks, she sees a mural of the shepherd as she reads from her notes about the Savior who will exorcise vile calamities and save the world. Before she knows it, she is attacked by bugs. A cute, funny little Norman creature helps her out with its barrier and kung fu fighting, but it is obvious she can't see it. Alicia tries to escape by breaking down a nearby wall, and she slides down a waterway and into paths unknown to the ruins. It leads her to a waterfall, where a stone with the crest of a shepherd is seen. After touching it, it moves and opens a hidden entrance. Meanwhile, Sori and Mikleo are keen adventurers as they happily discover a giant ruin in the high mountains. They want to explore further, but Grandpa Zenris forbids them, saying this area is sealed. Back home, they read the chapter of the Advent, which tells about the creation of life on the planet as well as the relationship between humans and seraphs. Sori loves this book as well as celestial records and the reason he believes that Ruin is supposed to be the celestial capital. Curiosity got the better of them as they decided to go against Grandpa's advice to explore it again. They swing in there once more and are glad to see the shepherd's mural. Suddenly, an unnatural lightning storm attacks them. Alicia thought she had found a way out, but that lightning storm also attacked her. The bridge she is on collapses, and she goes unconscious. Zenris can tell someone is disturbing his territory, as reported by his subordinate, Kaim. Knowing those kids are involved, he tells Kaim not to do anything. Sori and Mikleo fall deep into an abyss. As they look around, they see an unconscious Alicia. Against Grandpa's advice not to come into contact with humans, Sori wants to go help her. When she wakes up, she thinks Sori is a shepherd. To her dismay, Sori is human like her. The shepherd is just a legend, and the world cannot be saved. Even sad, she follows Sori and Mikleo out of the ruins. But they notice that Alicia can't see Mikleo, which confirms that most humans are actually unable to see Seraphim. Sori brings her back to his village, Izuchi. He is about to introduce some of the villagers, but Alicia quickly assumes they are seraphs and pleads for their help to save her world, which is shrouded in darkness now. As she cannot see or hear them, they tell Sori to relay the message and ask her to leave to avoid inviting calamity. Sori gets an earful from Grandpa about breaking this ban. But Sori is human too, so why the exception? He has lived among them and can communicate with them. There is a great difference. But to Sori's joy, since they don't want to invite calamity if they shoo her away, they will let her stay till she leaves on her own. Sori and Alicia talk about celestial records and how much she believes in them. So it is just sad when she realizes it is just a fairy tale. The next day, Sori brings her to the ruins to show her the mural to cheer her up. There is even a clove with the shepherd's crest. This proves that shepherds exist. So have faith that one will turn up if the world is coming to that state. It is his dream to see humans and seraphs coexist. This gives her motivation to not give up looking for the one who can pull the sword out at the festival. Soon, Alicia leaves and thanks Sori for everything. She apologizes for the trouble she has caused. She was a stranger, yet he took her in without questioning anything. She also believes in seraphs, and even though she cannot see them, she can feel them even now. She hopes Sori can participate in the festival and is confident the shepherd is someone like him. After she has left, Zenris detects a Hellion invading his territory. Everyone goes to look for Hellion. Sori and Mikleo stumble into him. Together, they fight the Hellion but seem unable to actually hurt him. When Zenris appears, Hellion doesn't think it will be fun anymore and escapes. Sori blames himself for bringing Alicia here, and it led to this. Zenris doesn't think so. Sure, this calamity would have been avoided, but doing so would only be selfish as their peace is connected to the outside world. They must not turn a blind eye to that. Later, Sori deduces from what the Hellion said that he was hunting down Alicia. Sori leaves Izuchi to go find her. He won't be going alone, as Mikleo will be accompanying him too. Mikleo has found Alicia's dagger dropped in the ruins. It has the crest of Highland royalty, so they can start here. The duo descend into the world for the first time. They reach Leda Lake and are impressed with the liveliness. They are waiting in line to register for the festival, but this kind merchant, Rose, decides to help speed things up by giving them a special pass. But in return, she wants money, but Sori doesn't even know what money is. She checks his bag and finds the royal dagger. She thinks fate must have brought them together and let them pass, but she tells Sori that he owes her before taking her leave. Mikleo starts feeling pain because the town is filled with malevolence. Then they spot the Hellion and quickly run towards the city rooftops, but Sori and Mikleo chase after him. Sori questions him, targeting Alicia. He assures her he is not going to kill her and simply wants to be near her because interesting things will happen. But he warns that there are others who are out to take her life, as the order for her assassination has not been rescinded. Lord Bartlow is in cohorts with a couple of assassins. Because of Alicia's stance to not go to war with their neighboring country, he believes she is leading their kingdom to disaster and orders her assassination. Inside the hall where the finalists of the festa will be pulling out the sacred blade, Sori could see a seraph, Layla, sleeping next to it. He believes she is the Lady of the Lake and the one who will judge who is worthy to become a shepherd. After all participants failed to pull it out, Alicia made her speech about her belief in the legend and her stance of not going to war with Rollins unless they attacked. However, Layla can feel the place being flooded with malevolence due to the people's disgust and hatred. Suddenly, evil swarms the place, and a dragon pops out, causing havoc. After Sori goes to help Alicia, he asks Layla to do something about the dragon. However, she claims only a shepherd can defeat it. At the same time, the assassin makes her move as Alicia defends herself, and Alicia tells him to focus on the source of the chaos, as he is the only one who can stop it. Before he extracts the sword, Layla asks his intentions. His dream is to explore all the ruins and find a way for humans and seraphs to coexist. This is what Layla also wants to achieve, as she warns him that becoming a shepherd would mean becoming her vessel and destiny. There is a price to pay for using powers, and it will be a long, lonely battle. He easily pulls the sword out and transforms into his shepherd form, not only easily slaying the dragon but purifying the evil in the hall. After that, he collapses, and everyone remains shocked to see what has unfolded. Sori finally wakes up after 3 days. Alicia couldn't be happier. To show her thanks, she feeds him good food and gives him new clothes worthy of a shepherd. Noticing he is talking to seraphs, whom she cannot see nor hear, Layla gets this idea of communicating with her. Sori has to take her hand, block out all his senses, and focus. Alicia is surprised and delighted to hear the voices of Layla and Mikleo. They give their thanks, but the conversation is short since Sori is out of breath. Once he achieves higher power, he can resort to easier methods of communication. Business calls, so Alicia returns to the palace after dropping them off in town. The council has unanimously decided she will hand the shepherd to them, but she declines. Sori can detect some malevolence in the air. Trying to find its source, this leads them to find an underground ruin. Sori and Mikleo's experience exploring ruins has helped them detect a hidden, sealed door. Since it bears the crest of the Highland royalty, Sori uses the dagger to open it. Inside a tomb, they see a dragon statue. Dragons are bad omens believed to bring disaster. They are then attacked by the malevolence, which is a giant bat. They manage to fight off and disperse. After disposing of it, they trek deeper to find the real source. The guys are shocked to see human remains and bones. Layla knows the truth about this place. Those who rebelled against those in power were thrown in here. Their regrets and hatred turned into malevolence. There is a dark secret that this kingdom wants to keep away from the public, although Alicia probably doesn't know about it. Layla is showing him this because eventually he has to fight and defeat the source of all malevolence, the Lord of Calamity. As we all know, Sori is not powerful enough to take on the big boss. He has to travel the world and acquire power and knowledge. They have to get out now, seeing that the malevolence has seeped into the water and is flooding the place. Once they return to the surface, the malevolence has also engulfed the kingdom in a big storm. Meanwhile, Alicia and Maltran discuss about Bartlow's goal, which isn't just to obtain the shepherd but to remove Alicia from the monarchy. There is also the fact that the kingdom of Marland is rife with an epidemic. More to come because that dark mist is now here. Looking toward the sky, they notice a tornado approaching the city. Sori, Mikleo, and Layla move to intercept it before it reaches the castle. They see that within the tornado is a dragon, and suddenly the dragon flees and the weather clears up. Despite Sori doing nothing, everyone sees him as a hero and a true shepherd. Bartlow takes advantage of this by inviting Sori to dinner. But Alicia isn't invited since she received a message from the king to meet at the palace. Sori tells Bartlow that he is going to try to pursue the dragon and find clues to make the world a better place. After he reunites with Alicia, she tells him the king is going to officially send her to Marland. That night, Mikleo talks to Layla about his dilemma. Now that Sori is a shepherd, what is he supposed to do? He thought of returning to Izuchi, but if Sori is going to travel the world as a shepherd, he cannot leave him alone. However, the next morning, Mikleo left on his own. Sori panics at first but calms down, knowing he had a reason for doing this. Layla told him last night the directions to Galahad ruins. There is a sacred relic sleeping there, and if he is able to get it, Mikleo can help Sori with his new powers. Sori accompanies Alicia and her troops to Marland. That night, they are attacked by a creature that is supposed to be docile. Of course, Sori can see it is being possessed and purifies it. Continuing their travel, Alicia would love to hear more about Seraphim, so Sori tells her from the celestial records how they keep the balance of the world. It is believed men lost their reverence for Seraphim, which led to the birth of the Age of Calamity. It is unsure if man is the real cause, but the world is now overflowing with malevolence. Sori and Mikleo continue to make their progress separately and wonder how the other is doing. Mikleo has reached the ruins. In the foggy mountain range of Rayfalk, Sori stops when he feels a strong malevolence. They see an umbrella fall, and Sori catches a young girl that is suddenly thrown at him. Layla quickly recognizes the girl and calls out her name, Edna. Edna and Layla seem to be friends, but their reunion is quickly interrupted by a Hellion. Edna creates pillars of the earth to beat back the Hellion, and Sori fights with Layla supporting her, but their attacks seem to have little effect as the Hellion's malevolence is quite strong. Then, out of nowhere, a large blue fireball takes the Hellion out in a single strike. A shirtless man with long white hair and a magic pistol reveals himself. Layla also recognizes him as Zavid because of his special gun that can kill Hellions. Sori and Zavid butt heads with their different ideals. Sori doesn't condone killing, while Zavid believes sometimes killing can be the only way to save something. They don't get much chance to rest as they are attacked again, but this time by a dragon. Not just a dragon, but Edna's older brother, Izan. Zavid wants to kill it, but Edna won't allow it. Even more heartbreaking to hear is how, when one turns into a dragon, there is no purification or method to return. You'll be a dragon forever. Sori takes Edna away while Zavid fights the dragon. Edna learns Sori is here as he is following the dragon from Leda Lake. They know this isn't that dragon. Edna doesn't know how Izan turned into one. One day he left, and the next time she saw him, he was already one. He must have gotten involved with humans, whom he is fond of. She tried researching ways to cure him, but to no avail. Edna doesn't believe Sori's words that he can save Izan. They watch as Zavid continues his fight. He is most frustrated because he and Izan were best friends and did everything together. Now he doesn't recognize him anymore. Sori then combines with Layla and joins the fight with Zavad. However, his power is not enough to defeat the dragon, and he gets knocked into the cliffside. Edna could think of all the times she spent with Izan. As she tries to use her voice to reach him, the dragon attacks her. Sori becomes desperate to save her and unleashes some sort of power. This makes the dragon back down and fly away. Everyone realizes Izan was himself for a while then. In the aftermath, Zavid agrees to help find a way to turn Izan back. Edna makes a contract with Sori. Since he is going to find a way to save Izan, she agrees to lend her ancient powers. Meanwhile, Mikleo has finally gotten a bow. Once he heads out of the ruins, bad weather is kicking up. On Alicia's part, they are stuck because the flood has washed away the bridge. Alicia and a few of her men decide to find a long detour to cross the bridge and deliver the medicine. Edna learns Sori wants to go to Rollins, a city supposedly to have many ruins that depict dragons as gods. Layla warns that during his travels, he will encounter many Hellions. Since it is a shepherd's duty to purify them, she lets him practice purifying. Of course, he fails and needs more training. Mikleo, on his way through the woods, he spots a Norman being chased by a Hellion. He shoots the Hellion with his bow, saving the Norman. The Norman then returns the favor by powering Mikleo up, allowing Mikleo to blow away the Hellion with a powerful shot. They then rest near a stream, and the Norman introduces himself as Edak. They talk about Normans, who once helped keep the balance of the relationship between humans and seraphs. Normans are physically weak, but they can help intensify the power of other seraphs. Edak decides to follow Mikleo on his journey. Meanwhile, Alicia reaches out of the storm. Looking back, she knows this is no ordinary storm. Some of Alicia's men have come to send Sori a message from her. Sori rides to the bridge. The storm now intensifies as they spot an Ouroboros Hellion, the cause of it all. Sori combines with Edna to attack, but the dragon soon comes swooping down to fight the Ouroboros. It isn't exactly a dragon but a drake, a young dragon. This means Sori has a chance to purify it. However, it fled as fast as it came. Sori has powered up because now he can make earth walls from the river's bottom as a bridge to cross. Heading into Marland, he sees the place filled with malevolence, which is no doubt the work of the drake. Alicia is glad to see him and notices Sori has powered up because, by being near him, she can now hear the seraphs' voices. She falls into despair because her medicine isn't working, and at this rate, everyone will die. The drake is back, and they notice it is heading towards the great tree to make its nest there. They conclude that it must be making a nest for its final transformation. Once they reach the drake, Edna attempts to hold it down as Sori and Alicia Armatize to strike it down, but the drake breaks the binding and flies into the air, making it difficult for Sori to take it down. However, with the power of friendship, Mikleo arrives just in time to make a sublord contract with Sori. They armatize and shoot down the drake with Mikleo's bow, cleansing the malevolence. Sori and Mikleo also help purify the water source, and the town regains its health. Sori and his seraph speak to Rollan, the man who turned into that drake. He doesn't remember how it all happened but thinks it could be as small as someone taking a valuable book without permission, and then it spread from there. Alicia is grateful for the seraph's help. As the town is undergoing reconstruction, supplies from other towns also come in. One of the merchants supplying them is Rose. She is happy to see Sori again and reminds him about the debt, but Sori still does not have money. Alicia gets an urgent message from one of her personal cavalry, Syro. Bartlow has ordered troops to Glavend, the buffer zone between Highland and Rollins. He is aiming for an impending war, and with Alicia out of the way, he thinks he can do anything he wants. Alicia will take her troops there immediately to stop the war. Sori wants to come, but Layla strongly opposes, seeing as he doesn't even know what it means to purify. They sense a Hellion nearby and track it. Sori is shocked to see this Hellion in the form of a man. In the eyes of an ordinary human, he looks like an ordinary man, but Sori, as a shepherd, can see his true form. Sori attempts to purify the possessed man but falls over in pain when he tries to strike. The Hellionized human nearly escapes, but Sori manages to catch him at the last second. Layla tells the truth about purification. When one is purified, the shepherd takes on their malevolence. Only the shepherd can do this, not the seraphs. That is why it is a lonely journey. Sori won't give up yet and heads to the cemetery where the body of that man. Noticing his soul is not at rest, he purifies his grave. He gets to see his tragic past and conflict. Whatever it was, those loved ones around him will suffer and then fall into despair. This is the root of malevolence. Alicia has her troops quickly prepare to leave at first light. When she realizes something is odd because there are no guards around, she is quickly surrounded by assassins. The leader is not happy with her non-aggression stance in the war. She will not allow people to die senselessly for her ideals. Alicia shocks her by saying that she will become the first victim of her beliefs. She backs down as she senses no lies in her words. Of course, Alicia won't let this go. She wants her to come and see how she handles the upcoming battle. The assassin is revealed to be Rose, the sparrow feather merchant, and she agrees to help her with the Assassin Guild pledge their loyalty to her. Alicia has a wish in case she dies. She will forgive everything. She forbids vengeance, and hatred must not be passed on to the children of the people. After what he has experienced, Sori is also determined to head to the battlefield. The group leaves Marland for Glavend. Only Adek stays back to help with Marland's reconstruction. Alicia reunites with another personal cavalry, Ian. She reports that Bartlow has deployed 20,000 troops, a sign he is determined to win this. Ian is ecstatic to meet Sori for the first time and seeks permission to touch his hand for good luck, never going to wash her hand. The Highland side, led by General Landon, is confident the circumstances favor them. However, Rollins made a sneak attack by attacking from the rear. With the fighting growing, Sori can feel the malevolence getting bigger from the deaths, suffering, and pain of the soldiers. Hellions are being born everywhere. It's madness. It is time to begin the biggest purification. Meanwhile, Alicia and Rose head to the base to order Landon to pull back his troops and send a messenger to Rollins to stop the fighting. However, Landon will not obey her. Bartlow has given him lots of higher authority. He orders his men to capture her. Alicia and Rose defend themselves. There is only a limit to how many of them they can take. Rose cannot take it anymore and tries to aim for the big man. Luckily, Alicia stops her in time. As a result, she gets stabbed in the back. Alicia forgives the soldier, but Rose is angered by what they've done. Suddenly, a gust of wind pushes all the soldiers back, and a seraphim appears above them. Meanwhile, Sori is on the battlefield, trying to stop the fighting, and has done the impossible by purifying everyone. And then he realizes this is just one section of the battlefield. There's another big section where everyone is still killing each other. Sori senses the biggest mother of malevolence ever over the horizon. Unable to see his human form, however, he concludes that it must be the Lord of Calamity. Rose is so mad that she comes up with a quick solution and leaps toward General Landon. She holds him at knife point and takes him hostage, telling the others to obey. The soldiers comply and send messengers out to the battlefield for a ceasefire. The Lord of Calamity observes the end of the fighting and walks away. Sori, having noticed him, chases after the Lord of Calamity to purify him. But the Lord of Calamity easily deflects Sori and expresses surprise that another shepherd has arrived. Sori armatizes with his seraphim, fighting the Lord of Calamity with all his strength. But his level is not high enough yet, so they are easily beaten back. The Lord of Calamity decides to toy with Sori and summons all the nearby Hellions to attack. While the Lord of Calamity is confident that malevolence will prevail as long as humans exist, Sori continues to believe in a world where humans and seraphs can live together. The big boss got bored seeing Sori struggle against the malevolence, so he told him to live and they'd meet again another time. Become that hope so he can crush him with despair. In the aftermath, Alicia and Sori are glad to see each other. Alicia plans on returning to Leda Lake to continue fighting in the political arena to stop wars. Sori suggests making a squire pact with him so he can help her. With Layla starting the process, Sori gives Alicia her ancient name, Malphizemikia, which means smiling Alicia. It brings Alicia to tears when she can see the seraphs herself. The next day, as they say goodbye and part ways, they are attacked by Landon. He is turning into a Hellion. Upon learning he is the one who hurt Alicia, Sori becomes mad. Layla fears malevolence will consume him. But Sori surprises everyone by handling this perfectly and purifying Landon. Alicia will take Landon back and try him based on their kingdom's laws. Rose reminds Sori about the debt. She wants him to accompany her to Rollins because there is this guy who is a tough negotiator, and having a shepherd with her will help smooth things out. Since Rollins is his next destination, he agrees. Rose isn't too pleased when Dezel is also tagging along. I only covered 1 to 12 episodes. Thank you for watching till the end, and please don't forget to subscribe.